Amarillo Police Department is still investigating a homicide that occurred during a Labor Day weekend after party. The family of the victim, Felita Bailey, wants justice and answers.
My daughter she would be 26. She would have been 26 October 26th of this year.
According to police, officers responded after a fight started that spilled into the street where shots were fired. Felita Bailey and another victim were taken to the hospital where Felita died.
She spent her last moments fighting men.
The first and only known suspect, 22-year-old Dylan Black, was arrested and charged with murder, but was later released due to insufficient evidence. When we spoke with APD Homicide Unit Commander Lieutenant Clements on September 9th, he said they're still waiting on ballistics.
But we want to make sure that we know exactly what happened on that scene 100% before we charge anybody with any kind of a charge that we.
Clements said there are new leads, but the case is still an ongoing investigation, and not much can be shared. Nearly a month later, and no other arrests have been made.
I just refuse to let my daughter case go unsolved. That's just not gonna happen. I'll fight. I can't even grieve because I have to fight. This is my only child.
The family of Felita Bailey asked witnesses to come forward with any information that might lead to an arrest.
Police complaint in the shooting death of an Amarillo woman August 31st paints a picture of a wave of lives that surveillance video contradicts. Dylan Black is charged with murder, and the complaint tells a police version of what happened when a man was wounded and Felita Bailey died near 13th and South Avondale. It says about 40 people came uninvited to a late night party where a man was dragged into the street and beaten. That's when 4 shots rang out, wounding the man in the leg. Despite what Black said happened, video from several sources tell the story. After his arrest Sunday in Bushland, the complaint says he continued to change stories. Police found the clothes he was wearing and the suspected gun at a home in Amarillo. A witness led them to that gun. APD is still asking anyone with video from that night to come forward.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey again, hit y'all another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely fabulous. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers to the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Texas by way of Amarillo. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Texas, everybody inside the great city of Amarillo. And before I start the story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for seeing me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. And also, before I start this story, I want to send a special condolence out to the family and friends of Felita Bailey, because it's very sad and tragic what happened to this young, beautiful lady. A sad situation. And now, also, before I start this story, I want you all to put your thinking caps on and let me know is what the news and what the police saying making any sense about this case. Now, for those of you all who have not heard this case yet, it's very sad and tragic. And this case happened roughly 3 months ago, where we had 25-year-old Felita Bailey and also a suspect who go by the name of Dylan Black, 22 years old. And now the story goes that Felita Bailey was at one of her relatives' home and they was having some kind of get-together. I don't know if it was a house party or just a regular get-together. Now, unfortunately, while Felita Bailey was there, you had 20-some other people who showed up to this residence uninvited, as you all heard in the beginning of the video. You even had one guy stating, whose house is this? So, sir, and to the rest of the people who showed up at this house uninvited, why are you all at these people's home and you not even know these people? Now, as you all heard in the beginning of the video, you had one man who walked by the camera and stayed, whose house is this? So, sir, you mean to tell me that you got your butt at somebody's house at 3-something in the morning and you don't even know these folks? That's a damn shame right there. It couldn't have been my house or my family. Now, unfortunately, while these people was there, you had a person who go by the name of LaToy Johnson. Now, when I heard the name LaToy Johnson, I thought that was what? A female. I thought that was a woman, just like some of you all thought. But guess what? LaToy Johnson turns out to be a male. Yes, a man. And now the story goes, while Felita Bailey was at this residence, you had a person named LaToy Johnson that was trying to talk to Felita Bailey. But Felita Bailey did not want to talk to LaToy. So instead of LaToy Johnson going on by his damn business, guess what LaToy started to do? Just like a lot of other people we don't see in the clubs, because I have witnessed this firsthand and also got into it with a few guys. But guess what LaToy Johnson did when Felita Bailey denied him of course, acted just like a little boy and cursed Felita Bailey out, started calling her B's and all kinds of H words. Now, you already know what the B's is and the H words is. And shortly after LaToya Johnson cursed Felita Bailey out, that's when an argument ensued between the two of them. And now remember, family, Felita Bailey was at one of her relatives' home. So while she was at her relative's home, that's when one of her cousins witnessed this whole altercation take place, the guy cussing her out. And that's when the cousin stepped to him, just like a man's supposed to. So while the cousin stepped to LaToya Johnson, that's when a fight broke out, as you all see. And that's when LaToya Johnson friends and also Dylan Black friends jumped on Felita Bailey's cousin. And as you all see, the guy in the yellow shirt, that's one of Felita Bailey's cousins also. And the mom also told me the guy in the yellow shirt, as you all see walking toward the fight, that's her nephew, because me and the mom spoke directly. She requested personally for me to do this video, even though you already had other YouTubers who have already done this story a few weeks back. So the mom reached out to me and we talked and corresponded for a while. And that's how I know who the guy in the yellow shirt was and also how this whole fight started. And now, as you all see, family, because I could not show the whole video because they're tearing the whole damn house up fighting. Now, as you all see, you see a person dressed in what? All black. Now, you may be thinking to yourself right now, well, Trey, who in the hell is this person inside these people's home dressed in all black? Because number one, you would not be in my home. And also, you would not be in my home dressed like that. Now, if you had a get together around 3 in the morning, and as you could tell, it wasn't cold in Texas. So why in the hell does this person have their face covered up with a mask? And also, why does this person have a damn hoodie on? Because remember, it was hot in September. And also, the person is dressed in all black, trying to make themselves not be identified, with one of his hands inside the hoodie pocket, as you all see. And that person that you all see right there, that person is Dylan Black, says the people who was there, and also says the mom, because I have the screenshot, and that's how I got the video of the incident. But I don't have the video of the shooting that took place. Now, immediately after you see this image, this person walked by, that's when the fight led to the street, and unfortunately, shots rained out, and 2 people were shot. And the 2 people that were shot was Felita Bailey, who unfortunately lost her life, and also one of Felita Bailey's cousins. I'm not sure if it was the guy in the yellow shirt or if it was the other cousin that stepped to LaToya Johnson when the fights first took place. I'm not sure which cousin it was that was shot, but my prayers with the both of them. And thank you for standing up for your cousin, even though unfortunately your cousin lost her life. Now, the news stated that also immediately after this took place, that's when they arrested a suspect, and the suspect once again go by the name of Dylan Black.
The first and only known suspect, 22-year-old Dylan Black, was arrested and charged with murder, but was later released due to insufficient evidence.
Now, Dylan Black stayed in jail just a couple of days, family, and also the mom was not even notified that her daughter, Felita Bailey, had died until she watched the news. She learned her daughter's death from the news, and unfortunately, after her daughter died, the mom was not able to view her body to identify her daughter until 5 days later. So let me ask you right now, family, why do you think the police and also the hospital kept the mom away from the child for 5 days? Is it something they're trying to cover up? Because the mom told me that her daughter was also jumped by these guys. Her daughter was beaten very badly. So not only was she killed, but she was beaten before she was shot. That's a damn shame right there. And they say at her funeral that you could tell around her head area that she was very swollen up, and also she had bruises. And now, family, imagine seeing your child in a condition like that. And also, why would the police make the family wait 5 days before the mom be able to identify the body? That's very suspect right there also. Now, Dylan Black was arrested and charged with murder, but unfortunately, the police let him out of jail just after a few days. So let me ask you this, family. Why do you think Dylan Black was just in jail just for a few days, and then the police let him out? Because also, the reason why they say they let him out was because of what? Yes, a lack of evidence.
22-year-old Dylan Black was arrested and charged with murder, but was later released due to insufficient evidence.
But guess what, though? Unfortunately, they had evidence, as you all heard.
Police found the clothes he was wearing and the suspected gun at a home in Amarillo. A witness led them to that gun.
And now here's where the story get real crazy at. Now remember, I just told you, the news said that the reason why the police dropped the charges was for a lack of evidence, even though you had a house full of people there, 20 to 30 some people at this event. And you also have people who witnessed the assault. You also have people who witnessed the shooting. So you mean to tell me that's not enough evidence? But as you all heard, they had an eyewitness that led the police to the clothing and also to the alleged murder weapon. So ask yourself this: how much evidence does somebody need? I mean, you got a person on video dressed a certain way, And then you got multiple eyewitnesses saying this was the person that was shooting in the direction of Felita Bailey. And now, family, you would think that since it was a house full of people, that it wouldn't be no problem with the police having any kind of evidence, getting any kind of information they need. But guess what, though? The police had multiple people that came to them and told them exactly what they seen and also who done it. But unfortunately, when they get to the name Dylan Black, the police tell the people to stop talking and they pretty much just shut the whole thing down. So it does sound like Dylan Black family has some kind of connection to the district attorney office in Amarillo, because it definitely sounds like the police are trying to cover this whole situation up. Now remember this right here. The key thing is this right here. We have a picture of a person, well, on video, that is dressed in all black, covered up with a mask on. Now, this same clothing was found at a residence, as you all heard.
Police found the clothes he was wearing and the suspected gun at a home in Amarillo. A witness led them to that gun.
So number one, you got the clothing the person had on, and then you also got the said gun. Because think about this also. How would the witness know what his clothing and also the gun was? Unless they witnessed the shooting and also know that he done that. Now look here. We understand they say this is an open case, so we're not directly accusing Dylan Black of murder, even though the evidence is very overwhelming. And now to give you some history on Dylan Black. Dylan Black, as you all can see, was arrested, yes, back in January of 2020 for burglary. And you already know in the state of Texas, burglary is considered what? A felony. And it carries anywhere from 2 to 5 years. So that means we are dealing with a convicted felon, as you all can tell. And roughly 3 years later, Dylan Black was wanted for a probation violation, as you all see. Now, that means one thing. Dylan Black had to be on probation for at least 2 to 3 to 5 years. So since he was on probation as of last year, maybe he might be still on it this year. Because remember, burglary, you can look it up. Burglary in the state of Texas carry anywhere from 2 to 5 years. So Amarillo Police Department, you all had someone in your custody that was accused of murder by multiple eyewitnesses and also by the video. And then you also have a witness who led you all to the clothing and also to the alleged murder weapon. And then you want to have the nerve to tell us that you dropped the charges for lack of evidence.
22-year-old Dylan Black was arrested and charged with murder, but was later released due to insufficient evidence.
But this is what I want to know. How does a person that get accused of murder get the charges dropped when there's multiple eyewitnesses, and then also the person led you to the clothing the person had on, and then also the alleged murder weapon?
Police found the clothes he was wearing and the suspected gun at a home in Amarillo. A witness led them to that gun.
Because number one, if you're a convicted felon, you're not supposed to be around a firearm. So you already got him on that charge. So you mean to tell me that you let this man out of jail that's accused of murder and then gonna tell the public for a lack of evidence? So Amarillo Police Department, when you all went and arrested Dylan Black, did you check him for gunpowder residue? Did you check his clothing? Because maybe you might find some gunpowder residue there. And also, you all say that you're waiting on a ballistic report.
When we spoke with APD Homicide Unit Commander Lieutenant Clements on September 9th, he said they're still waiting on ballistics.
Now, this incident took place 3 months. So let me ask you this, family, in closing. How long does a ballistic report take? Because I doubt very seriously if it take that long for a ballistic report to come back. Because did you check and see if the gun was fired? And also think about this. How does the person who led you all to the clothing and also to the alleged murder weapon, how does this person even know about the clothing and the weapon? Unless they witnessed the whole incident like I told you all in the beginning of the video. So you have someone who led you all to the clothing, led you all to the weapon, and then you have multiple eyewitnesses who came to you all and gave a statement, and you still let the person out of jail and you still drop the charges because what you are telling the public does not make any sense. You have a person that was in your custody that's a convicted felon, that's accused of murder, and you also have a witness who led you all to the clothing and to the alleged murder weapon. And that's not enough evidence. And not to mention, you have multiple people who pointed the finger and said Dylan did this. So let me ask you this, family. Who do you think shot and killed Felita Bailey? Because it sounds like to me that Dylan Black does sound like the damn suspect that did this. Because for the life of me, I cannot understand how Amarillo Police Department sat up here and told us they don't have enough evidence. They dropped the charges for a lack of evidence. Now, Felita Bailey had a promising future. She was 25 years old, a beautiful young lady, as you all see. She wanted to be a dentist, and she was very smart. And the reason why she was in Amarillo, because she's a Dallas native, the reason why she was at Amarillo was because she wanted to do her dentistry in Amarillo and also spend time with her grandmother. And unfortunately, she lost her life. never been in trouble a day in her life. And this is what her mom told me personally. So on one hand, we have a young lady with a bright, promising future who never been in trouble with the law, who obeyed the law. And then on the other hand, we have somebody who's a convicted felon coming to people's house uninvited, dressed in all black, masked up, and accused of murdering somebody by multiple people. And it's always the good people in these stories that always end up losing their lives by a two-bit thug. Now think about this. All this started over a guy named LaToya Johnson, even though it sounded like a girl name, wanting to talk to Felila Bailey. But Felila Bailey did not want to talk to him. And instead of LaToya Johnson going on by his business, he decided to cuss Felila Bailey out. And that's how this whole altercation took place, because a man got rejected and felt played and wanted to try to sit up here and act bad in front of his friends. And that's how this whole situation jumped off. This lady lost her life just because she rejected a guy, Vance. That's a damn shame right there. And let me ask you this, and we're going to close. Have you ever been to a party or to any event and you seen a guy trying to talk to a woman, and then that guy get rejected by that woman? And what they immediately do, most of them, they sit up there and cuss the woman out or try to make fun of the woman. When at the whole time they're only doing that because they felt played and rejected. But my heart goes out to you, Miss Odessa Bailey. If you need anything, please do not hesitate to let me know, because it sounds like to me this is a cut and dry case. Because number one, let's go over this again. You got a video of the shooting. You got a video of the person walking around somebody's house uninvited, dressed in all black, with a mask on, with one hand inside of their hoodie jacket pocket. And then you have multiple witnesses that say they seen Dylan Black physically assault Felila Bailey. And then when the fight led to the street, you have those same eyewitnesses that say they seen Dylan Black shoot Felila Bailey. And then you have another witness who came forward to you all, led you all to a home where the clothing was, and also the alleged murder weapon. And think about this also. The person that's accused of killing Felila Bailey is already a convicted damn felon who may be on probation or may just got off probation. So what more evidence do you all need, Amarillo Police Department? That's what I want to know, because it seemed like to me the person gave you the whole case cut and dry. Only thing you all got to do is just do your damn job. Give us the ballistic report. And also, did you all check Dylan for gunpowder residue? Because I noticed in the news never mentioned anything about Dylan Black being checked for gunpowder residue. But once again, my heart goes out to the family and friends of Felila Bailey, and also to the mom, Miss Odessa. And hopefully you all will get justice very soon. And think about this. Now, it's Christmas time. Dylan Black is at home with his family on Christmas. But unfortunately, Miss Felila Bailey is not here with us. So you have a person who never got in trouble in life, was doing everything right, with a promising future, wanting to be a dentist, whose life was taken from her because she rejected a man advances. That's a damn shame. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story, and hopefully justice will be served. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Become a channel member. Also, share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed, and I will see y'all soon on next Trey King Show. And you all have a great weekend and happy holidays. And much love to all of you, and I will see y'all soon on next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.